Good morning. Yeah.
Good
Okay,
morning.
good morning. Yeah. Okay. So, so now we are discussing about chapter 4, right? How the socio-cultural changes or social changes, cultural changes influence the identity formations. Okay. So the last class we discussed about how physical changes that influence the identity formation. So today we will discuss how this social changes, cultural changes and emotional changes. That is the next chapter. So we will finish that chapter today. Okay, how this emotional changes affect the identity formation of us as well as the adolescents and all. Okay. So yeah, I'm not asking too much. A single question. What is social development?
The accusation of the ability to behave accordance with the social expectation.
Yeah, social expectations like social norms as well as social values. Very good, son. Very good. So, so according to Harlock, if a question asks, what do you mean by or what is a I'm sorry, yeah. So this according to Harlock, you need to mention his name. Okay, Harlock. Acquisition of the ability to behave in accordance with the social expectations. The social expectations means norms and values of the society. There are certain norms and values, right? Can you differentiate what is this norms and values? Just by an example, I will help you. This values means it is a more a general thing, like we respect teachers, right? We respect our elders, respect our grandparents. That is a part of value, our values. Okay, in the case of norms, that is something that is related to a specific situation or a kind of a particular situation, like a dress code for a family function. That's a part of norm. Or covering your mouth when you're coughing. That's a part of norm. Yeah, it's not a general thing, right? It's something that is related to you and all. Yeah, that's it. So then we learned about there are certain concepts that we are commonly used to measure the social changes or social development. So that is why we call them as a social traits, which means by using the social traits we can easily measure the social development, how much the child develops. Okay, so the first one, that is social maturity. Social maturity, which means a common term, that is social development, which means the child gains the ability to react with these norms and values by the society, or as you said, it's the expectations of society. They begin to learn all these expectations and how to behave to the society, all those things. Okay, that is social maturity. Then next traits, that is social acceptance. This is very important, right? We learned about social skills. The social skills are very important for the social acceptance, like a good behavior that is easily accepted by the society or by friends or by peers, teachers, everyone. Like if somebody with a negative behavior or kind of bad behavior, they need to change that behavior to get an approval from a particular group. Yeah, so if we get an approval, then we can confirm that behavior, that is social conformity. We can easily confirm that behavior. Okay, so somebody who receives the social acceptance from the society or from the environment, this meaning society, which means anything that surrounds you, that is society. Okay, not only the community, the environment, family, everything that belongs to the society part. So those who receive the social acceptance, they can get more confidence as well as they get more responsibilities, opportunities and all. Okay, because their behavior is good and the society has already approved their behavior, they can confirm that behavior. Okay, then social skills. Can you add any one social skill here other than the sympathy, cooperation and all?
Caring.
Very good, caring and all. Then participation in social activity. What about your case? Participation in social activities. Are you kind of a person or a withdrawn person? Yeah.
No, ma'am.
No? So what do you mean by no? Yeah. Hmm.
I don't participate in social activities like festivals and all.
Why? Any reason, any particular reason due to these kind of some problems, being on stage problems, something like that? Oh, or you are not interested. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. It will definitely change when you come to your college life and all. You will definitely participate in social activity. This is my promise, okay? Yeah. So let's discuss the social changes. Okay. Social changes. I already told you that the family changes, yeah, the peer group changes, then teachers relationship, parents relationship, everything that belongs to the social changes. Okay, so let's discuss how this environment affect, or what are the social changes that influence the identity of an adolescent. Okay, so the first one, that is family. We all know the family as an environment, right? Family, what do you expect? This is a discussion period, okay? Try to express your ideas. So, family, what do you experience in your adolescence from the family? Is there any change from your childhood or adulthood? Any changes?
More
Experience?
responsibilities.
More responsibility for you, right? Yeah. The main difference that is there is a generation gap, right? That leads to a lot of problems. For an example, in a joint families and all, we as a one generation, our parents another generation, grandparents another generation, what is the problem in their family? Because everyone, these all generation have their own ideas, right? They view the world in a different perspective. Our viewpoint is entirely different from our grandparents. This leads a conflict in the family that leads to some kind of problems. This is the first social change in a family. Yeah, if they express different kind of opinion, we are not ready to agree with that. That leads a conflict in the family, that leads to a negative energy in our family. Yeah, the generation gap. So this generation gap means the difference in the views and viewpoint of two generation. That is this generation gap. Then any change during the early adolescence and late adolescence. We already discussed the adolescence can be divided into two parts. One is early adolescence, which means a period from 12 to 17, right? And late adolescence, that is 17 to 19. So is there any change in this family relationship in this early and late? Anything like that? Just think. In this early adolescence, our parents are very tense towards us, right? They are very tense. Sometimes they consider us as a child, sometimes they consider us as a matured person. We already discussed that, right? This leads to a confusion, a role confusion, identity versus role confusion. This is a social change, right? During early adolescence, they consider us as a child, and in late adolescence, our relationship. We all know that during this time we spend more time with peers than our family members. Yeah, that's a common thing. So due to this reason, we give more importance to peers. Our family relationship is little failed. Not failed. There are a lot of conflicts with us and them. That's a one kind of change. But when we reach into this late adolescence, we understand more about this relationship, how this happened. This is due to some kind of hormonal changes in my body. So I need to adjust with this. We learn all these kind of concepts, and then this late adolescence, we understand more about this relationship with the family, relationship with peers and all. Yeah, so due to this change, the family also start to behave in a different way, which means our parents, father, mother and all, they behave in a different way, which means they also try to hear us. And this time, they sometimes, in the early adolescence and all, they are not ready to hear us because they consider us as a child. What is the purpose of that? Yeah, but in the late adolescence, they understand us, they understand the relationship, we also mature, they also try to understand us. Okay, that is a fun change in the family relationships. Okay, so in this family change, yeah, fine. So there is an affectionate parenting. There are 4 types of parenting there. Affectionate and permissive parenting, different types of parenting. Yeah. Nothing too much to learn, just learn this effective parenting or affectionate parenting. Yeah, this affectionate parenting that fosters the development of identity. Okay, so I told you that there are different types of parenting. This affectionate parenting is very good, which means they care us more, they hear us more. There is no such punishments and all. A friendship like, yeah, parenting. That is affectionate parenting. This affectionate parenting that leads to the healthy identity formation. During this time, the adolescence, according to the Erikson and all, Yeah, he developed this 8 stage, that is identity versus role confusion. This portion is very important. Okay, identity versus role confusion. So this affectionate parenting is also help a lot to prevent this role confusion, because they care more, not over caring. That's another kind of parenting. This is just kind of nice kind of caring and nice lovable parents and all. Okay, they maintain a good relationship with the parents as well as to their child. That is affectionate parenting. So this affectionate parenting, it's a firm parenting that fosters healthy development of identity. Okay, not this term. There is a pen here. Yeah, I don't know. Fine. So the affectionate parenting means the parents are warm. Both this father and mother, they are very warm, loving and supportive to all the child's effort and accomplishment. Whether the act or the task is very simple, we need to appreciate them, right? If a child stand or if a child just write A or Amma, it's a big thing. You just imagine a child with some kind of autism or ASD, some learning disabilities and all. Think about their mothers. They are very happy when they write a little term or a single word, right? We all are very lucky. We have no problems. Yeah? Just imagine that children. Yeah? So we need to support our children. Don't compare with other things. That is my motive. Okay, don't compare your friends, or never compare with others. Okay. So this affectionate parenting, that is very important for the identity formation of adolescent as well as any stage of our life. This affectionate parenting, that means that both of the parents are very warm, lovable and supportive to their child. They always appreciate, they always accompany their child. Okay. That's all about the family changes. Yeah. So this generation gap during the early childhood and late childhood, there is some kind of differences. You have to write that. Then also write the affectionate parenting under the family changes. How this family change during the time of adolescence. Okay. In your textbook, you can see in page number 27, there is an adolescent's family relationship and socialization. That's what we discussed now. Okay, our next topic, that is how the adolescent and sibling relationship. All these are in a paragraph format. Then we have adolescents and grandparents relationship, adolescents and teacher relationship, adolescents and school, adolescents and community, adolescent and peers, adolescents with opposite sex members. These are the certain headings in your textbook. Okay, so the first one we finish, how the family influence the identity formation. So this affectionate parenting is very important for the to prevent this role confusion and for the affectionate parent. Clear? I think it's clear, right? Yeah. I'll just quickly read some paragraphs from the textbook. Okay, please listen. So the onset of puberty and starting of physical changes mark the arrival of adolescence. Yeah, we usually mark the arrival of adolescence at when we see these kind of physical changes. Yeah, this influence the mental coordination of adolescents. These physical changes that influence the mental coordination. Then adolescents are unaware of these changes and remain in tension. We already discussed that adolescent period is a period of stress and storm. Yeah, they are always in this tension period. That's due to this hormonal change. Then adolescents, people start viewing them differently as their growth is quite different. Yeah, all the people like our family, peers, everyone begin to look as in a different way. Then during the early adolescence, the interaction with parents is not very pleasant. That is the first difference. Okay, during the early adolescence, the interaction with parents is not very pleasant rather than the relationship with others. So problem lies with both sides. Yeah, in our case also, in the parent case also, both leads to the problem. So the parents are not able to change their attitude towards them. Yeah, parents are not ready to change their attitude and we also not ready to change our attitude. This leads a conflict during the time of early adolescence. Then the adolescent feel confused and irritated by this kind of behavior because they are confused. That leads to an irritation behavior. Then, yes, an important factor which plays part in the family relationship, that is generation gap. Okay, so include that term, generation gap. So the adolescents undergo the changes in their mentally, values, behavioral patterns and all. So the adolescents experience different kind of changes like the physical changes, emotional, social, cognitive and all. Okay. So yeah, though mass media, they become aware of their cultures also, they now have a cultural gap that we will discuss later, this cultural gap and differences, okay. And the adolescents have a general complaint towards their parents that they don't understand them. And always think, right? Why you are not understanding me? This is a kind of this situation. Please understand. Yeah? It's a common thing. And their thoughts are old fashioned. We are in a new fashion, they are old generation, they have an old fashion. Their thinking is in a back, right? They're always thinking backward. Yeah, this is a kind of thought that everyone's mind that comes this kind of concept during this time of early adolescence. Once we reach into late adolescence, everything, this relationship concept, everything become more clear. They also start to understand us and we also give more importance to them. Okay, that's all about the family changes and the identity formation. Clear? So that is the first social change. Yeah. Next one. Yeah. Adolescent and sibling relationship. Is there any change that you experience during the time of early adolescence and your childhood? Sibling changes. Any kind of change? I don't know because I don't have this kind of siblings. Yeah. Any change? We usually share
Fights
all the things,
become
right?
less.
Yeah. Sanjana?
Fight.
Fight. Yeah, that's what yeah, fight. Because just mainly we as a siblings, we share everything with them, right? We share our feelings, we share our experience, I don't know. Usually that is the thing with the siblings and all. So during early adolescence, we always think that why they are creating these kind of problems to my life. They are always leads to these kind of problems. We always complain that thing to our parents, right? They are behaving like this, they fight with me, everything like this, yeah? That is in the time of early adolescence. And when you reach this late adolescence, we understand them more. We understand the younger siblings as well as the elder ones. We understand more and then we need to give more time for them. That is the difference in this sibling relationship during the early and late. So what do you understand from this in this family and sibling relationship? Early adolescence is a period for fight, yeah, and late adolescence, you understand all these things. That is quite normal. There is no problem. This is then you adjust with that. The parents also try to change their attitude. Siblings also change, yeah, their relationship also change. That's it. I'll read from your text, okay? This is the next heading, that is adolescence and sibling relationship. This is a general topic, okay? In a family, adolescents constantly interact with their siblings. Interaction with siblings undergo changes during early adolescence. As I said, this interaction with siblings, it can be younger or elder. These interactions during this time of early adolescence undergo a number of changes. So the early years of a young adolescent are spent with siblings. So usually in early adolescence and all, they spend more time with the siblings. He shares many things with them or she shares many things with them. Early concept of his life are formed with them. All these certain kind of concept that they learn. As siblings, we learn certain things from our elders or from younger ones also. We learn certain things. Yeah, good behaviors. Then the child share his feelings, experiences, curiosities about his environment, teachers, peer, they are like this, they are like that. We always share these things once. I think one with peers or with our siblings. We usually share our things with them. Then yeah, but when the late adolescence approaches, this relationship become more normal and pleasant. In the case of family relationships and as well as the sibling relationships also, the adolescence relationship become more normal and pleasant at the time of late adolescence. Okay, so you can write these things under the early and late adolescence. The difference, this is your textbook, okay? Yeah. You are following the Saraswati publications. Saraswati Publications Home Science Textbook. So what is another name for home science? Do you remember that? Yeah, human ecology and family science. Human ecology and family science. You can see here, right? Human ecology and family science, right? It's another name for home science. Okay, so can you share anything related to grandparents? That's our next heading. Yeah. Power failure, adolescent and grandparents. Is there any difference in this early adolescents and late adolescents?
Generation gap.
Yeah, very good. The generation gap then. What do you mean by that? Any experiences?
Their views different from mine.
Can you share any one example or anything? The old fashioned thing from that term? Wearing this kind of shorts, sleeves, short sleeves, there is no problem, right? But there are some families have these kind of problems. They can't, after this adolescence, after the maturity, they have a number of restrictions for girls. Yeah? Don't wear that, don't wear this, don't do that, don't share with others, don't mingle with opposite sex members. There are some families, they usually share these kind of thoughts with their children. It's a common thing. Next, yeah, adolescent and teacher. Next heading. What do you experience? Adolescents and teachers. Or adolescents and school. You can share anything. Since this is a general topic, there is nothing more to discuss here. Nothing more to learn. This is just a general topic. Yeah. So we learned the family as an environment, sibling relationship as an environment, peers that we will discuss. The next one, that is teachers and siblings. Is there any change between teachers and siblings? I think there is a less fight with teachers, right, during this time than the parents. Do you agree with me or not? Yeah? Usually our school is the second family, like, or for someone it's the first family. They consider some teachers as their mothers. There are a number of children. Yeah? Those who learn from the boardings and all. Somebody who is in a hostel, a long distance family. Yeah, they consider the teachers or they consider school as their first family. Okay. Then a number of things they learn. Yeah, what about the social skills? Because in schools we get more responsibilities, more opportunities, a dance. Are you a dancer? Yeah, I saw a DP of yours, yeah. Classical or both?
Classical.
Only classical, yeah. I'm also a classical dancer. Yeah, same pitch. Yeah. When you start learning? From your childhood?
Third grade.
Yeah, sorry?
Third grade.
Third?
Yeah, when I was in third.
Yeah, very good. Third. My case, when I was in fifth. 2-year difference, yeah. But now I'm not doing this kind of things. I don't get time. That's what. Yeah. So we have some kind of similarities here. Yeah, social skills, because a number of opportunities here, like dance or songs, anything like that, yeah, or the sports and all. They get more opportunities. They can cooperate with others. They can learn this cooperation, sharing, turn taking. That is very important. We need to wait for our turn. Yeah. It is very important thing. Don't shout in class. Like you will definitely observe this thing, right? You'll definitely see these kind of children. They always shout, "Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am," like this. Why? Because they are not ready to wait for their turn. That is the reason. Okay, we need to wait for our turn. That is also comes under the social skills part. Yeah. So school is the second major group after family. I'll read. School is very important in the life of a child. We all know, right? For academics as well as for many other things, we need school. Yeah, as a family. So school is the second major social group after family, that also we know. In schools, a child learns adjusting and interacting with her friends. That is very important. In the case of family, everyone that is a familiar faces. All are the familiar faces. Yeah, it is very important to interact with an unfamiliar one. Yeah. Teachers, just imagine a child, those who are Yeah, just the first day of that school, what you observe? They are always crying, right?
New faces.
New faces. Why? Because they are tense. All are new faces. They are not ready to learn. I need to go back. I need to go home. Because they are not ready to adjust with these, or that is a new environment for them. Other than this family, after the 3 years and all, they are just moving to another family. That is the reason they are very much feared. Yeah. Then they learn the leadership, cooperation, managerial skills, sympathy, teamwork, team feeling. That is also very important. Teamwork. Then sex education. What about this thing? That is very important in this time, in this 2021, right? Just imagine the rapes, the number of rapes here. The small children are also, yeah, it's a very bad thing. We need to educate what is sex and all. Usually this kind of things we refer or we gain the wrong information from the Googles or some kind of videos and all. Yeah, and they think that the sex is like this. So we need to change that kind of behavior. Sex is not something bad thing, right? It's very important for the biological process for our next generation. Like that, we need to provide the education, the proper education for children. We should provide the sex education in the schools for both girls as well as for boys. Yeah, otherwise they will gain the wrong information from YouTube or from different kind of sites and all, or some from this negative peer. We learned about this negative peer pressure, right? They also gain these kind of concepts from them. So we need to change that thing, and we need to provide them a good information regarding what is this and all. Okay, that is very important. So sex education should also be provided at proper time in order to avoid wrong impressions about sex. That is very important. Okay, so to build a moral character and a good healthy social relationship, that is very important. A kind of affection or attraction, that is very common during this time, right? During this time of adolescence, it's a common thing, but don't consider that as a too much of the relationship during this adolescence. That will always, can you share anything with them, anything like that, this kind of relationship? Do you experience any changes in here in Kerala and there abroad about the sex education and all? I think they give more education, right? Yeah, fine. Schools also help adolescents to learn discipline. That is very important. Discipline in life, leadership, importance of teamwork, duties towards society. We all have certain duties to society, right? Society has certain expectations from us, and we also have certain duties to the society, like waste management and all. That's a duty of us to prevent these waste, everything like that. Then adolescent and community, that also comes here. They want to make new rules, new society, that we already discussed. Yeah. So let's move on to the next one, that is peer relationships. Okay, how this peer relationship influence during the time of early adolescence and late adolescence. Okay, all these terms are usually we use to denote our friends. Peer, which means a same age friends, peer group. Okay, chums, clique and gangs. It's clique, okay, CLIQUE, clique. Please note these terms. These terms are usually we use to denote our friends. Chums, cliques, gangs and all. As I told you, during this time, we spend most of the time with our friends. Yeah, we spend most of our time up with the friends, with the peer groups, with the chums, with the cliques and with the gangs. Okay, so there are certain influences, right? It can be a positive influence or it can be a negative influence. Okay, so suppose if you are in a toppers list or in a topper group or class toppers group, you will definitely try to learn, right? At least once. That's a good peer pressure. Yeah. So in the case of bad peer pressure, if somebody who's in a smoking gang, they also try that thing. Yeah, that is a bad peer pressure. So peer pressure, that is just the influence by our peers. Peer pressure. So this term peer pressure, that is not a negative term. Peer pressure is not a negative term. That just means it's an influence by the peers. For an example, if we are friends, I am influenced in you. That's it. That is a peer pressure. Some kind of influence from our friends, that is peer pressure. There are two types of peer pressure. One is good peer pressure and next one, that is negative peer pressure. Okay. So good peer pressure means something that leads to a good thing in your life. Bad peer pressure, that always leads to a bad thing in your life. That's it. Clear? That is a peer pressure. Then yeah, just denote that things. Okay, the good peer pressure and bad peer pressure. So at late adolescence, this peer group influence start diminishing. At the late adolescence, which means during the early adolescence, we have number of friends. For an example, if we have 20 friends, yeah, when we reach into a late adolescence, we cut some, right? We only choose close friends to our life, right? We care more them. We care more than others. We cut certain amount of friends from our life. That's just a common procedure, right? During this early adolescence, we as a gang, then we move on to this clique or chums. As a close friend, we all have a close friend in our life. All these things that comes at the time of late adolescence. We'll definitely get a close friend in our life. Okay? I think you also have a close friend, right? No? Yes? Yeah? No, right? No. It's not at all a problem. It's not a problem. You will definitely get. Yeah? It's again my promise. Okay, so first one, that is chums. Social circle during this period is very limited. Okay, so these friends are called chums. Okay, so what does this chums means? Social circle during this period is very limited. So the social circle, here you can see 2 friends, right? Yeah, so the social circle is very limited and they always select few close friends which are of same sex. So in chums, you can only see the members of same sex, 2 girl or a 2 boy, like that. In the case of clique, that is a small social group which an adolescent forms. So chums means a very small, here clique means a group, a very small group of friends with an adolescent forms. So it can consist of a pair of 2 or more chums. Okay? In clique you can see 2 or more chums. That is the clique one. Yeah. Yes. Then what about gangs? That we know, the bigger group. That is gangs. So peer, that means equal to your age. Clear? So please write, peer pressure means influence from, peer pressure means influence from members of one's peer group. Members of one's peer group. So peer pressure means influence from members of one peer group. So peer means equal to your age. That's right, peer or hyphen equal to your age. So first, that is chums, clique and gangs. Also mark these 3 things. Don't confuse the spelling of clique. Okay, C-L-I-Q-U-E. It's clique. Yeah. Next one, that is adolescent and their interest in opposite sex members. So now we discussed about, we already finished how the family changes, how the peer relationships. Then we discussed about what? Grandparents, school, family. It's a general topic, right? A common thing. You can write, yeah, it's also important. If you're writing, you can also include your points in our subject. Okay, not in definitions and all. There are certain questions that from out of box like questions. So you can write your own viewpoints, you can write your ideas there. Okay, like a language subject, you can write according to the question. Okay. So what do you think about this opposite sex members at the time of adolescence? We already discussed now, right? Can you share anything? What you observe? Early adolescence and late adolescence now. Yeah, in early adolescence, what about this chums and all? We depend more on same sex members, right? That is just the meaning. Yeah. The boys only cling to boys group. We only cling to the girls group at the early adolescence. But when we reach into this late adolescence, we also include the opposite sex members to our gang. There is no problem. As a good, as a positive, in a positive way, we also include them in our gang. We also depend more on them. Not depend, we also care them. Yeah, we also include them. We also share our feelings. There is no problem in that, sharing feelings with other members, other sex members. There is a difference here. Okay. So there is a desire to win over the approval of opposite sex members. That is also a common thing in the time of adolescence. Yeah, in the case of boys and all, they try to attract the other members, which means girls. And due to this hormone change, that is just a normal procedure. Okay, so they try to adopt such mannerism and behavior patterns which are likely to attract the attention of opposite sex members. Yeah, in the case of boys, they gain certain things or they learn certain things to attract the girls. That's due to this hormone changes. Yeah, then adolescents start wearing latest fashion clothes. They adopt trendy hairstyles, show off their material possessions. Yeah, what is this material possessions? So they begin to wear this kind of fashionable clothes than other times because we are in a growing stage. Yeah, we learn these kind of fashions, how to tie our hair, how to like that things. Okay, so this material possessions, we also show the material possessions. What do you mean by material possessions? Any idea? A good dress. Yeah, very good. Good dress, good vehicle, a bike and all, they show these kind of things to attract others, right? That is a common thing. Yeah, then such as vehicles, costly watches, etc., in order to get the approval of their group, as well as to get the approval as from our group as well as from the opposite sex members. We use these kind of material possessions during the time of adolescence. Yeah. Then the socio-economic status of the dating partner will have a direct impact on the prestige of the adolescence. That's also a common thing. Yeah. Due to this material possessions and all, somebody who is showing these material possessions like a good vehicle and all, others are watching them. That's a being on stage, right? That's it. So those who want to settle early look up upon the, yeah, that's it. That's all about the adolescence and the interest in opposite sex members. So it's not in a negative manner. At early adolescence, we more depend on the same sex members, and when we reach into late adolescence and all, we include the opposite sex members into our gang. We also share our ideas with them. Okay, and also the attraction, that is also emerge during this time, in the time of adolescence. Both early and late adolescence, this attraction happens. Okay, that's all about the peer group. Yeah, that's it. That's it for today. Okay, so can you summarize just these things? Not as a paragraph, you just list. Yeah.
Family changes.
Good.
About affectionate parenting.
That's it. Yeah.
Then the friend groups, peer groups.
Yeah, very good.
Then
try to include that term. Okay, rather than this friend group, use a peer group. Yeah.
Types of peer groups.
Chums, clique, gangs. Yeah.
How it changed during
early adolescence. In all the cases, in all the family peers and teachers, schools, then the grandparents. At the early adolescence, they have some kind of relationship problems, and when we reach into late adolescence, we understand all these things according to our physical changes. We understand what is happening, and then we change our attitude. Our parents are also changing. They are also ready to hear us. All these are the certain changes, and also the generation gap and all, both in the case of grandparents and also in the case of families and all. In schools and all, the teachers, we depend more on teachers for the social skills like the cooperations, sympathy, then managerial skills and all. We learn these kind of skills from school by different opportunities. In school, we get a number of opportunities to show our strength, right? And we also understand what is our weakness from the school. Yeah. We understand that area is a weaker part for me, so I need to improve in that area. All these concepts we gain from the school. Yeah. Then, yeah, the rest of the topic, and in this chapter, two more topics are left. One is stereotype, and other is cultural influence. Do you heard about this term stereotype? No. We'll discuss in the next class. Any doubts, dear? So give more importance to what is social development and social traits in this chapter. Okay. Rest you can write in your own words, and also include these kind of concepts like social changes, families, and all. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Thank you.